Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new series here on Football Manager 2019. With the full release now out there, it is time to step things up, and we are in Spain at the home of Deportivo La Coruña. Yes, we are going to a team that definitely should not be where they are based on their history and all these other things. We are hoping to bring Coruña back to the success they found in the late 90s, early 2000s. If we take a step back in time, this team had players such as Diego Tristan, Roy Mackay gracing its lineup. Back here you can see the 99-2000 season, they won the Spanish First Division. They were resting near the top for quite some time. They were a force to be reckoned with. They won the Copa del Rey. They contested Champions Leagues. They made the quarterfinals, losing to Porto the year they won it. They were definitely a force to be reckoned with. They won the 100th Copa del Rey, spoiling Real Madrid's presumed party. They had things ready at the Bernabeu, 100 years Real Madrid, 100 years the Copa del Rey. Deportivo were the club to ruin that celebration. But since then, they've kind of ruined themselves. Things started to drop a little bit here towards the back end of the first decade of the century, and then they have been relegated 3 times in this decade. Starting in 2011, they went down. Each time they bounced straight back up, but last season they went back to the Segunda Division, the second division. Hopefully, we can now bring them back up, continue the tradition of them bouncing straight back into the top flight. So this episode here, we're going to go through a little more overview of the club, where they play, the players, look at the tactics I have set up, and then we will play the first game of the new season and see just where we actually are in terms of hopefully progressing for the year. So we'll take a quick look at some more history stuff to see what's going on. Let's go to overview here. So yeah, they've won the first division, 2 Spanish Cups, 5 second division trophies, the Spanish Super Cup 3 times. Nothing in Europe. Like I say, they did well in the Champions League. They had a couple good UEFA Cup runs, but it didn't really come to anything. Look at the best 11. There's nothing, of course. It doesn't actually do it yet, does it? Let me hit general. So here we go. Legends. Juan Carlos Valerón, a former Deportivo man for 13 years. He was outstanding as a player. I just love him, the way he played in that kind of number 10 behind the striker's role. We have Roy Mackay, like I mentioned, now a coach at Feyenoord. He spent 4 years at Deportivo before going to Bayern Munich. Nebet, another fantastic player who was here for some time. Fran as well. Capdevila, the left back, now manager, but he spent a good chunk of time. This man here has been at the club for quite a while. He's still one of our players, one of our top players. Alex Bergantinos has stuck around through a lot of ups and downs for Deportivo, been a rock for the club. But this is kind of what we were set. We still have 20,500 season ticket holders in the second division, so that's nothing to scoff at. Take a quick look at the stadium. We play at the Raizor. That is our stadium. It's 32,500. So a lot of them are season ticket holders, which is really quite good. Facilities are okay. Training good. Youth is only average. We'll get to that later. We just want to get back into the top flight first. That's got to be our biggest task. That's what we really need. Nominal rent is nice. Not a lot to pay out. But yeah, we have some work to do. We absolutely have some work to do. We're going to take a quick look. I think we'll do the team report first. I'll show you roughly who we have at what position. We'll go with, what do I want? All positions. So let's have a look through. That was our formation. We'll look at that again in a second. But goalkeeper, we're not terribly strong. Jimenez is our best in goals, looking at purely stars. The disappointing thing here is actually kind of nice. A lot of our strong players are out on loan right now, which confused me a lot at the start. I was really like, what is going on? But it's actually clever, because it means that if we do go back up, they'll come back and they might want to stay. So instead of selling them, they put them out on loan. So like Juan Fran, who I definitely play it right back, is out on loan at Leganes, but he'll come back. Diego Roland is out on loan, but he will come back. Pedro is out on loan. This guy is centre back, Raul Albentosa, is out on loan, but he will come back. So we can go up. We will have some very good players. It'll be like brand new signings coming into the team. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. If we stay down, we'll make some money on them. We're not going to want to play in the second division. But it's a strategy I do like, because I don't think we're paying their wages really at this point. They're out of the club, they're not playing second division football, I don't think. But then if we go up, they'll be ready to step in when we get promoted, if we get promoted, which we should. And we'll kind of look at the season preview and things in a second as well. But it shouldn't be too difficult for us to go back up. And then, like I say, we have this base of talent coming back in like they're brand new arrivals at the club. So that's kind of how that looks. Let's take a quick look at the competitions here. So the second division went to win promotion. The Spanish Cup reached the 5th round. So we only have to win one game in this competition, but we kind of enter at roughly the same time as a lot of the La Liga teams, I think, which will be difficult. There are some familiar names here in the second division. Malaga, Mallorca, Las Palmas, Albacete, Cordoba, Elche. A lot of teams that have been in the top flight recently. Sporting Gijon, Zaragoza, Almeida. It's not an easy league. There's a lot of good teams in here. Some of the play you can see already. Malaga, I believe, are the strong favorites. I'm going to jump in here, look at the expectations, or the preview really quick. So Malaga 1-5 to go back up. So they are supposed to be the strongest team in the division, going to romp through it. No one else is really excited to come near them. Then ourselves and Las Palmas should be taking some good spots. Second is automatic, third is not. So we really need to be aiming for that at least second spot. I'd like to try and win the league, but Malaga, by the looks of it, should be running away with it. And then here's the rest of the teams in here. So, you know, I didn't know Mallorca were so low down. They just came back up to this league, which is kind of a surprise. But that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll have a quick look at the Malaga team. I don't know, because they just came down. They still have Munir. There's a recognizable names here. And Dai Wanpi, is he? Actually, no. Okay, he's at the club. Yeah, there's names here that you know, which is always quite a sign in this league of talent. So they'll be tough to deal with. We might just be aiming for second place. We're going to give it our best. Maybe we can sneak up the table a little bit. I'll have a quick look at the transfer activity first for us before we go any further. So history, here we go. So a lot of players came in. A lot of this happened before I got here. All I've done are these bottom two here. The rest of this already happened. So they made some signings, some free signings, some loan signings. There's a lot of good players in here. They'd already kind of rebuilt for the season. I'm using a lot of these players in good capacities. Pedro went out on loan. I don't even think I did that. So I brought in this man, Federico Valverde from Real Madrid, on a season-long loan, the Uruguayan. He'll be very solid for us in that defensive midfield spot. We're playing with a Regista, which might give you an idea as to the system we're playing if you didn't catch on the team report screen earlier. So he is a definite upgrade on what we were going to play in there, and I'm very happy to have him in for the season. And then we signed Philip Wolfschild on a free transfer. Again, I think for free, 29 years old, 2 caps for Germany. This was a steal to get him in for free. His wages are practically nothing for a player of this quality. I think he will be a definite positive for our defense this season, considering our best centre back is currently on loan. He is slow, which is the one worrying thing. His physicals are not great for pace and stamina and things, so I'm a little worried about that. We'll see how he goes, but hopefully he will be a good addition to the club. But that's all that I did. So we're going to have a quick tactical overview here. So this is our main system. We are playing a 4-1-4-1 tiki-taka style. This is a little different to what I did before. The formation is the same. The system is different. It's not just the control possession, it's the tiki-taka. We're really going to go for it. We've had mixed results in the preseason, I'll be honest, because while we've dominated games, we've struggled to score. Like here, it doesn't tell you possession. We've had 65+% possession in all of these games. It started well. We had that defeat and a couple 0-0s in a row. We are kind of struggling to convert a lot of the chances we get. I don't know if that's player related or if that's the system. So I might have to play with it a little bit as we go. But as far as I can tell, this is our best 11. Obviously, it's not going to play with. There's a couple injuries in here, but this is the best team that I think we have available. Definitely room for improvement. Basically a flat 3-star team with a couple, superstars for our level, at least in there. So it's not ideal, but I think this is kind of based on the reputation of the club expecting to be a top division team. You know, it's a good player for second division side, could still improve, but that's kind of what a lot of these guys end up being. They're going to be decent players for most first division sides, so they're at the top end of what should be second division talent. So we should still be good enough. I'm not worried about the stars again. That's more, I think that's honestly based a lot around the first division, which is where we should be. So next year I'll be more worried. We'll have quite a lot of work to do to stay up if we get there. But I think we have the team to make it. So this is the first formation we would use. I also have set up the 4-2-3-1. It's a slightly different, still a positive getting press. It's just set up a little differently so we can, just play things a little bit quicker, have a different set up to counter another team's formation. We have to switch things up as games go, but this is kind of our secondary. And then we have this, our defensive, let's barricade in. Because with the Newcastle save, we struggled away from home a lot playing these expansive tactics, which makes sense. It's, you know, you would expect it. But I wanted to change that now. So we do have this. It might be a little too defensive. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I haven't played it yet. But if we end up playing a big team in the Cup, or if we're, you know, away to Malaga or something like that, we may set up like this and just see how it goes. See what happens. We'll see how the season goes. It will make an appearance at some point. I just don't know exactly where yet. So, speaking of all of that, it is time for us to begin our league campaign. We host Granada on day 1 of the season, so we're going to go ahead and jump straight into that. Back to the tactics screen here. I do need to change a couple of things. This is also, going through the tactics is messed up. Who is playing where? So I need to fix that really quick. I think this is... Oh dear, what have I done? Is it this? It's this, okay. So I need to make a couple of changes now. I need to change my right winger, which isn't ideal because he's out on loan. Gill will come in there. And that left back, I have an equally good left back. Caballo, he might even end up being better. I don't know. Mosquera, he was injured. How does his fitness test say? Not quite fully fit, 80%. Yeah, so I don't really want to be playing him right now. I think if I put Valverde in there, and then we just go from that. So I'll quickly throw a bench together. I might put Walsh in there. He's not even starting. I have 2 of my lone guys in right now. They're definitely, you know, switchable. That will change quite a lot. We'll just kind of... There's going to be a lot of figuring things out as we go, which is fine. It's kind of what I would expect to happen. We're not particularly well endowed up front. I wonder if there's players in these teams that might be useful to us in a forward position, because right now we don't really have anything. Like Uxio, to be fair, I've already registered my team, so I can't do anything anyway at this point. I don't even know if young players are exempt. I'm not sure if that's a real thing here. So we might just have to kind of go. There are guys that can play up front. I can put, you know, Valle up front. I can play when he's fit. I can play Santos up front. I can play Fernandez up front. They're just not 100% fit either. Well, Santos is mainly a striker. Sorry, Fernandez is mainly a striker. So I think Fernandez is going to take that spot on the bench, so I have someone to bring on. This man here, he's a good player, but he's not made for that wing position, which is where I actually play people. We are, I think, just going to go with it. This is going to be our lineup for the game 1. There's going to be a lot of things to change around. Why is Moreno? Where is my... Is this the guy from Real Madrid? It is. Okay, so he's playing in there instead, which isn't great. I'd kind of rather he was in this position. Can Moreno play? Okay, so that's better. Right, yeah, this is what we're going to go with. A lot of figuring things out. I don't know the team very well at this point. It's not like with Newcastle where I knew who was good already. Going to have to just play people and see how it goes. But we're going to go with this at home. Hopefully, we can get off to a winning start here against Granada, another team that we definitely know about. I didn't have to check to see where they're meant to be. They could be one of our rivals for a good spot here. But we'll just figure it out. You know, we are the favourites for the game, by us being at home and being who we are. So I'd like to think we should be starting our season in a positive fashion. I don't really... Yes, why are you asking all these questions? No, there we go. Alright, our Segunda Division campaign is now underway at home. Let's see how long it takes us to get on in the positions here. Here's Boveda with a throw-in, but he throws it straight to the Granada man to get it clear, and it looks like... No, we're not going to get there. Domingos is going to come over. And Valverde, I don't know if my speed is still correct. I think it is. Gil to Valverde, nice ball down the line. Boveda puts it in. Flicked on, and Vicente, a minute and a half in, we take the lead. That is a good sign. We scored early. Some good football, definitely. Got the quality to just blitz past the Granada players. I won't bother watching the replay. It was very good, but I just want to kind of get on with it. I'm itching to start. I'm very excited we have the full save going now. I've been waiting for it for a while. Ever since I kind of figured out who I wanted to be. It was only recently that I did. But now I'm excited to go as Vico puts that one in. Boveda has it kind of clear, but it goes to Valley, and now hopefully this is the start of a nice quick counter-attack here as it goes down the line for Gil to run. Remember, he's an inside forward. Both my wingers are. Should be plenty of support in the middle as Kike finds Vicente. Can he make it 2? No, it's saved by Raizor. They'll go out for a corner kick, which will probably come to nothing. So half hour in, there hasn't been anything since that corner happened, but we are clearly dominating the game. Granada can't get a sniff at us, which is quite nice. I'm kind of pleased about that. It shows that we're just controlling the whole game, but now they're coming down the last. I might have spoken too soon as Vico has it. This will be their first chance if it is, and they get a goal with shot number 19 to keep my big mouth shut. Adrian Ramos steals in at the near post to batter it home. Defenders don't get near him, and it is 1-1, which isn't great, but it is only their first chance. We have still been the better team. There hasn't been anything clear cut for us. And now Granada have a free kick really close to the end of the half as Ramos gets there. Artola makes the save and we kick it against Pozo and he gets a goal. I don't even know if that would be shot number 2. You might still have said one shot, but it's now 2-1 to the away side and all the early positivity has been sapped out. Let's see how it happens here. Ramos heads, it's a good header. I think he saves it. And yeah, we just kind of punt it off of their player. And he manages to get the goal. Right before half-time, there's a highlight. Boveda finds Vicente, goes back to Boveda. Definitely over the time here, but I'm not complaining if it's positive for us. Valverde has it, he goes out wide to Gil. Where's he going to go with it? Inside to Caballo, to Valverde. We're just kind of playing around. Valley has it and it goes over the bar, and that is half-time. We will go in behind. So definitely not what we wanted. I'm going to kind of tell him to buck it up a little bit, because while we have had couple opportunities, haven't done a lot with them. We've given them essentially free reign with the 2 chances they have had. So I want to set us out a little more positive now as well, because really we should be winning games like this. I don't expect us to be losing a lot, especially at home. So this will be an early setback if we can't get it, and that one goes just wide. I thought you might have been in trouble again as Granada continue to push us a little bit. I don't know if there's, if I should maybe have another system to come in where we need goals and we're just trying to push it. I don't know. There's a lot of things, like I say, that I just need to kind of figure out with this. I'm going to make a couple changes here. Players aren't playing particularly well. Definitely let's keep demanding more. We're going to go attacking now because I'm getting a little scared about whether we're going to be able to make anything out of it or not. As Cron Daly has there's Caballo. He's challenged too easily, and this looks like it's going to be a Granada attack here, and it is. Ramos has it, he's going to play it inside because both defenders ran to him. Pozo is going to cross it to the 3-man, they're open at the back, and it's 3-1. You could telegraph that one from an absolute mile away, and we clearly have work to do as we are down 3-1 at home. But you can see it, these 2 guys both commit. I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see that. The 2 guys both commit, and you can see 3 men running free at the back post against 1 defender. He doesn't have a chance. Don't know where everybody else went, but it was far too easy. We've had 5 shots, 4 on target, 3 goals. That kind of shows that our defending is not up to the scratch, isn't what it needs to be. We haven't done much going forward either, so I'm not entirely sure where we go from here. If we can sneak a goal here, it would make an interesting finish, but I'm not getting my hopes up as Gil has it. He swings it over. And it's a terrible cross. This might end up being a chance for the away side yet again, and it is as Ramos finds Fadelo in all kinds of space down on the left. He's going to chip it and it hits the roof of the net. A very cheeky effort that nearly paid off for him. They have a free kick now, and that hits the post. Whew, we are giving away a lot of opportunities here, and this hasn't been a good performance despite what the stats may say. It is not working out, and we have full time. Not the opening we wanted. A 3-1 home defeat. We need to be better than that. That may be a sign that things have to switch tactically. I don't know. I'm probably not going to just end it on 1 game. But the early results are not good as we sit 18th after game 1. Despite having that 1-0 lead, dominating the first 30 minutes or so, we threw it away for the remaining 70 minutes of the game. So with that, we're going to wrap up episode 1. I hope there was some good stuff in there for you guys. Like I said, I'm still very excited about this series, hopefully taking Deportivo back up to those glory days of the turn of the millennia. If you had a good time as well, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe to keep track of the series as we go. I will be back on Twitch later in the month. It might take a little bit longer than this for coming out, just when work slows down. I'll get more time on Twitch. Until then, have a wonderful rest of whatever day it is you're watching this, and I will see you next time.